In this chapter, we'll continue to build our administrative console, working with container controls and the web browser control. We'll program our user interface processing layer and learn how to handle form events. Container controls not only allow you to logically lay out your form, but they also provide a mechanism to organize a set of controls so that you can work with them in a group. Let's launch Visual Studio. Let's open up our project. Navigate to your desktop, navigate to the project files, and open up Chapter 5, Antique Curator Admin. On the left-hand side, you'll see your toolbox. If you collapse the main toolbox where it says All Windows Forms and Common Controls, below that you'll see Containers. These are all container controls. Let's briefly review some of these. The Flow Layout panel allows you to dynamically create content that flows naturally, either horizontally or vertically. The Group box allows you to group a related set of controls and is often used for radio button controls. We'll be using this in this chapter. The panel controls the most basic type of container. It also allows you to group together controls, or this control can be used purely as a design guide as it doesn't have any borders by default. The Split container is the most useful control. It provides a movable bar that the user can use to slide to adjust the real estate on their screen. Earlier in this series, we used the splitter control that serves the same functionality. Unlike the splitter, the split container not only contains a splitter, but also two panels. The tab control we'll be using shortly. It enables you to save real estate by grouping controls on hidden tabs that the user can activate as needed. And lastly, the table layout panel. Unlike the flow layout panel, the table layout panel control orders its contents in a structured row and column format. Let's work with one of these container controls. We'll use the tab control to set up our main default form. If you don't see the main default form, double-click on it in your Solution Explorer. Make sure you see Design View. As you remember, the main form serves as our main console where we'll put commonly used functionality. For example, we'll use this console to add functionality to do searching of the items in our inventory. In order to build this functionality, we'll use one of our container controls, the tab control. Select the tab control from the toolbox and drop it onto the form. Now let's go ahead and build our project. From the top menu, select Build, Build Solution. Let's configure our container control by using the Properties window. Select the tab control. At the top, change the name to Tab Control Main. Scroll down until you see the Dock property. For the Dock property, select the Center button, which is the Fill property. This will fill the tab control to take up the full amount of real estate on the main form. By default, the tab control has two tabs. We can certainly add more using the tab page collection. Scroll down until you see tab pages. Click on the ellipses and there you'll see the tab page collection editor. This allows you to configure, add, or remove tabs. As you see, by default we have two. We'll stick with the two that we're given. Let's go ahead and change the name. For the first tab, change the text property to Research. For the name, change it from Tab Page 1 to Tab Page Research. Likewise, for the Tab Page 2, let's change the name to Tab Page Options. And for the text property, we'll change this to Options. Select OK. As you see, we now have two tabs. We can work with them in the designer by clicking on the appropriate tab, drag and drop controls as relevant, and then click on another tab to work with that one separately. First, we're going to start off with our Research tab. This will give us the ability to research information about our inventory over the web. Container controls group together any type of control, including other container controls. So in this case, let's nest another container control, the Split container, into our tab control container. Select the Split container and drop it onto the form. By default, this will add two panels and a splitter. Let's change the name to Split Container Research. The default orientation is vertical. We want to change that to be horizontal. In the Properties window, select Orientation and choose Horizontal. Let's go ahead and adjust the real estate that we see. Using the splitter control, push the splitter up so that panel 1 is smaller than panel 2.